the receiver, what receives the Islamic reminder, whether Quran or Hadith or a Friday sermon or a lecture like this, what is receiving it primarily is your heart, not your ears, not any other sensory faculty that you have. It's your heart. That's where it's going. And this is precisely why Allah Jalla Jalaluhu said in Surah Qaf, إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَذِكْرًا. There is a reminder in this for who? لِمَنْ كَانَ لَهُ قَلْبٌ. For he who possesses a heart. There is a reminder in this. But for who? For he who possesses a heart. Not an ear. For he who possesses a heart. أو ألقى السمع وهو شهيد, or he gives ear whilst he is attentive. So it's going to the heart. How is it that two people may hear the exact same reminder? Same content, same speaker, same pace, same tone of voice. Yet they behave in polar opposite ways. We may get this disparity in this particular hall. Two people who hear the same message, but look at the difference between them. Person A hears it, and his eyes begin to water up with tears. Memories of the past start playing in his mind, and a decision to change his life once and for all comes into play from this very evening. Then you have individual B, maybe sat just next to him, no social distancing needed. He hears the same content, but in one ear, out the other, unaffected. What's the differences between them? Nothing to do with their physical properties. No difference in their health, in their fitness. That's not the idea. The idea is this one had a healthy heart and this one had an unhealthy heart. This Islamic heart was ready to receive the admonition and therefore it produced change. And this heart was not a healthy heart. It's obsessed with all sorts of sins and yearnings and cravings and haram. There's no room for this type of material anyway. And so it is pushed out. The difference is in the status of the heart. So the heart is the receiver of the Islamic content. This is just like rainwater. The same rain that falls upon land, but each plot of land behaves completely differently depending upon the properties of that soil. You have a land that is fertile, and so it absorbs the rainwater and it's able to hold it in, it retains it. And then it's able to produce all sorts of colorful plants and beneficial herbage. Then you have a second plot of land that receives the same rain. But this land is different. It's a rocky terrain. It's unable to absorb the water. So it holds the water. It carries it. It benefits others who come to drink from it. But that land itself cannot produce anything. And then you have a third type of land. And this is the worst of them all. It's a salty or a sandy plot of land where the rain goes straight through it. That land is unable to retain the water, thus producing anything beneficial. And therefore, it is also unable to benefit itself. This is exactly the analogy of the human heart and how it behaves to revelation, like what you are hearing now, Islamic content, why people behave differently. Because of how fertile hearts are. You have a heart that hears it, La ilaha illallah, it is time to change. And the vibes of that reminder stay with you for a week after it as well, maybe a lifetime even. So you retain that knowledge and you grow because of it and you're willing to share it with others as well. That's the fertile land. And then you have a second type of heart. It carries the information, but because it is ill, with a desire that you and I may know about, it cannot absorb it, but it can share it with others. Come to the lecture. I've memorized this ayah. Listen to this hadith. But in of himself, he has not grown. And then you have the worst type of hearts where the reminder goes straight through it. Unable to grow because of it, and let alone benefit anybody else. Which heart is yours? And that is why Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, the companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said, "أطلب قلبك في ثلاث مواطن." Search for your heart during one of three circumstances. عند سماع القرآن. When you hear the Quran recited, where is your heart? وفي مجالس الذكر. And during gatherings of remembrance like this, where is your heart? Number three, وَفِي أَوْقَاتِ الْخَلْوَةِ. When you are alone, when no one is looking, young man, search for your heart. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, he concludes and he says, فَإِن لَمْ تَجِدْ قَلْبَكَ فِي هَذِهِ الْمَوَاطِنِ فَسَلِ اللَّهَ أَنْ يَمُنَّ عَلَيْكَ بِقَلْبٍ فَإِنَّهُ لَا قَلْبَ لَكَ. If you fail to find your heart during these three times, then make dua. Ask Allah to give you a heart because you are a heartless human being, he said. La ilaha illallah.